Hey y'all, happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing amazing. Tonight we are going to be doing a little bit of sublimation. I have tons of requests from my students and some of the clubs to do stoles and graduation caps. So I might hop on over the weekend and do a few of the graduation caps that I need to do. Graduation is Wednesday, and they just started getting their caps yesterday. So I was kind of bombarded today. I hate telling them no. Some people I did say no to, but there are just some that I just can't say no to. So I am going to be doing sublimation tonight, and we're going to make a sublimation stole. These are for different people in club, and this is what we're going to be subbing. So we're going to use these graduation stoles from Amazon. They're white satin stoles, and these are polyester. Okay, these are polyester material, so we are able to sub directly onto these polyester. These are polyester. They're satin stoles. These are the stoles that go around on top of the gown. You just kind of put it on there and it goes like that. That's what these are. And they are polyester. And yes, I'm saying polyester a lot of times because somebody below is going to mention or ask me a question, what is the material? And I want you guys to know that you can sub onto polyester and satin. I do have a video, maybe about a year or two ago, where I made some sublimation stoles. It is a shorter video. This video is going to be live, and while I am going to try my hardest to be very thorough about what I'm doing, it is alive, and I will be interacting in between, so it's going to be a little prolonged. So I don't think that I'm going to make all of the stoles tonight, but I do want to walk you through the process of at least doing one, so you can see how that's going to go. But hey, if this is your first time here, I'm Patrice. Thank you so much for being here. This is Craftable Things. I like to do a lot of crafting. So tonight we are going to be doing sublimation, but I also like doing a DTF. I like to play around with my Cricut and my Romeo, and I love to do embroidery as well. And I also love to bling. So I took out a shirt just in case I might have a little bit of time tonight to bling a shirt, but I don't think that I'm going to have any time because I have something else that I need to get done tonight before I go to bed. So that's the plan. I am pretty exhausted today because y'all know how I be so stressed out about my students. But before we get if this is your first time here, thank you for being here. Please check the other content. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to this channel if you find this content beneficial to you. But to my returning subscribers, and of course to my members, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. But y'all, I am super duper drained today. It's almost the last day for my seniors. Monday is supposed to be their last day, but I started feeling super emotional today about them getting ready to graduate. And so most of you guys know I've been with them for a very long time, most of their entire high school time, and I am going to miss them so much. I'm going to miss them so much. Yeah, I'm gonna miss them a lot. And so a few of them came because I don't know if any of you work in high school, you'll know that around this time the seniors stop showing up. So they don't really come all the time, especially now. So close to graduation, they've already gotten their graduation clearance. But a few of mine did come because, they came. But I am starting to feel a little sad. And so graduation is going to be Wednesday night, so I will be there at graduation on Wednesday at 7. I will be there. So in addition to the sublimation stoles that I have to do tonight, I also have these. And these I'm just going to put either vinyl. I was going to put DTF, but I still haven't fixed my DTF printer just yet. So I was thinking, and maybe tonight I might have a burst of energy and I might want to do it, but I did purchase maroon and black stoles, so that way I can just put HTV on top. And for the logos, one logo is super colorful, so I'm just going to use some DTV. That's Caesar Direct to Vinyl HTV. I'm going to put on there. So we'll see. But we're not going to work on this today. Again, I may, depending on what the weekend looks like, I might hop on to show you guys that because I have a few stoles that I need to do, and I have a lot of stuff to do this weekend actually. But hey, everybody, we're going to walk through the process of printing out our design on the Brother SP1, which is the sublimation printer from Brother. So we're going to print out our design. You guys will see how I do that from Adobe Illustrator. And yeah, I would have done this on my Epson EcoTank 15,000, but my prints took off and I just need to do something with it. And I haven't really did any maintenance on it. I've had my Epson EcoTank 15,000 for a little over 4 years now, about 4 years. And it usually doesn't give me any problems, but as of late, that output is not looking good. So let me see who's here, and then we're gonna hop in and we are going to go into printing. Hey, Stacy, welcome in. Hey, Denzel. Hey, Dempsey. Dempsey, I caught a glimpse of your live today because my kids have me running all over the place with graduation clearance. Then they have their obligations and different things like that. Yo. I just got a nice little note from somebody. I'm not even gonna tell y'all who that somebody is. Who was just like, I'm exhausted. Like today was it was emotionally draining for me. And then I'm still like, we're getting Taylor ready and prepared to go to school. My mom took Taylor to do some things that she needs to do to prepare for her going away to college. And it's just kind of draining. It's just a draining time for me right now, I think. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get my life together. Hey, Miss Sharon Davenport, welcome in. And yes, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. Please make sure. Hey, Creative Notions. Hey, Tammy. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Karen in. Welcome. Hey, Fern. So if you guys have any questions about what we're doing tonight, let me know. But we probably won't get to blink. We probably won't. I don't know. But we won't. Maybe. I don't know. Somebody just told me to get some coffee. If I showed y'all this text. Hey, Stacy, welcome in. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Mare Bear. All right, y'all. So I am going, hey, Miss Gail. I'm going to scroll down. Hey, everybody, because I am so far behind. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'm scrolling all the way down. I'm so sorry, but we need to get it together. Polymester. Yes. So I do. Okay. So, but I did not tell you guys. So these are polyester too, right? These are polyester too. Now we know that these are black stoles. You can't sub onto these. So no sublimation on these. Okay. And of course, these are the burgundy. Where's the order on the burgundy? You can sub black ink onto this. So if you have like a dark black, like you have black, you can sub black onto this, but it won't be colorful. So just know we're doing all over on these. That's why I'm choosing to use HTV with those. Okay. That is why. Thank you, Muffy. I had a neighbor named Muffy too. And Muffy rhymes with my nickname. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, everybody. Okay, let me get my little life together. Hey, Kels, Martha, Melissa. It's so good that you're here, Melissa. I hope all is well. No worries. Enjoy the bushes. And to everybody in the bushes, hey, y'all. Make sure to like the video, even though you don't comment. Hey, Barb. All right, so just a reminder, there will not be a live So Good Saturday or Sunday this weekend, okay? Hey, Greg. Hey, Laura. All right, y'all, I'm scrolling down. I just scrolled down. I can't. Felicia, girl, this week was a hot, well, the week wasn't that bad, but today was, whew, mm-mm. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be printing with the Brother SP1 sublimation printer. Greg, and I think that's how Zelda Brown. Thank you for being here, Miss Zelda Brown and Greg Barker. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. You. Thank you for being here. So we're going to head into, I did, Jennifer. I got them from off of Amazon. I do have a link listed below in the description so I have a link listed below in the description to the Brother printer that I'm using. It's a dedicated sublimation printer. It was made for sublimation. I also have a link to the stoles, to the white stoles. I have a link listed to the template. Now, the template that I'm using, I got this template made, not this template, but the template that we're going to be using when I get into Adobe Illustrator. I got this template maybe about 3 years ago. And I got this template from Shakia, honestly speaking, sublimation. She had it on her website, and I purchased the template from her website. I do have a link listed below in the description. It is the template that I use every year when I have to do stoles for the school. I use that template. She has a 60-inch template and also a 70-inch template. The template that I'm going to be using today, and I kind of altered it a little bit just to make sure I had extra space around. I didn't want it to be too narrow, but the template that we're using today is for the 70-inch. These are 70-inch stoles. All right, so that's what we're going to be using, and for the most part, that's what we're going to be using. Now, for this type of project, you're going to, well, at least I don't know what everybody else does, but I use a lot of sublimation tape to get this done. I'm also going to be using the Racoma 16 by 20 heat press, but I honestly think I prefer using my 16 by 24 Fancier Studio heat press, because this is more long, and but my other one is it's wider, so it takes less presses for me to do it. But nonetheless, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. All right, so let's head into Adobe Illustrator. I already have it pulled up. You guys will see it, but we're gonna print it out with. We're gonna print it out, and I'll just show you guys how I tile it. All right, presents. Delonda, I hope you're go to work, Delonda. I know you're busy. All right, I'm going to share the entire screen just so that you guys can see it. And then we're going to head into Angel. So there were 2. I didn't see Miss Merlinda. And Miss Merlinda was my very, very first member on my channel. Yesterday was her birthday. So y'all make sure y'all tell, when y'all see Miss Merlinda, Picture Me Crafting is Miss Merlinda. Picture Me Crafting is Miss Merlinda. Make sure y'all tell her happy birthday. And then also make sure y'all tell Angel B Designs, happy birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow. Okay, her birthday is tomorrow. And y'all know whose birthday is tomorrow also, right? Y'all know whose birthday is tomorrow also. The Queen of the Jannah. Her birthday is the 1st of every month, in case you forgot. All right, so this is the design that I'm pretty much using. To be quite honest, I saved this design. I've been using this design for this club for 3 years now, okay? And I have others that I need to make, but we're going to make this one. I might hop on tomorrow. I have another stole that I have to make for my best buddy's president, and so we may do that. I don't know. But I save it, and I know that they're going to want the same stole every single year. And so this is what we do. But they changed the names out. So I've already printed out this one. That's the one that you guys saw here. I've already printed this one out and I already pressed it. So we're going to print this out and then I'm going to change the name because I just need to move the name. So right now I have my artboard set at about an 8.5 because remember with the Brother SP1 you can only print 8.5 inches wide. Okay, I don't have any more 8.5 by 14 sheets of sublimation paper, so we're printing this out with regular size paper, 8.5 by 11. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Luckily, it's not that wide, so it covers. Now, if it was wider than 8.5, then I would have more tiles. And what we're gonna do right now is tile this so that it's gonna break the image up for us so that we can piece it together like a puzzle. Okay. I am gonna have to do this for for all of these stoles right now until I figure out what's going on with my Epson EcoTank 15,000. So, and honestly, whenever I'm doing sublimation, whenever I have like actual orders of things that I'm doing for people and not necessarily myself or for gifts, I like to print from the same printer. Even though I have 4 sublimation printers, I'm not going to use because I've committed to using the Brother. I'm not going to go use another sublimation printer because these are all going to the same person and you want consistency. No matter what, you're not always going to get the same outcomes when you're using different printers. So that's what I'm doing. Hey DB, hey everybody just coming in, welcome in. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you, Miss Gail. Hey Marlene. Angel, we're still on for happy belated birthday, Fern Griffin. Are we still on for the 6th, Angel? All right, so let's get ready to print this out. So this is the stole already. Remember, this template came from Honestly Speaking, and she has this template on her website. I do have a link listed below to the template on her site. I've been using this template now for 3 graduation seasons. So I think since like 2021, it's when I started using this template, and I haven't used another template. Now, if you want to look for other templates, there may possibly be templates on Etsy. There may also possibly be templates on Creative Fabrica. I'm not sure. If you use Canva, there may be templates on Canva, but I do know when I just went to go get the link for this template, it was $3.65. It was on sale. So, but you want to make sure that you note which size stole that you get. This is for a 70-inch stole. If you want a 60-inch stole, she also has a 60-inch template on her site as well. She has a 60 and a 70-inch template. Okay, so we are going to get ready to print this out. All I did was change I'm going to change this, but this pretty much stays the same. And the other thing that I change every year, I just change the graduation year. So this is 2024. Last year, of course, 2023. Next year, if they want me to do it, we're going to do 2025. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff on the artboard, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to print. It's only going to print what is on the actual artboard, which is that white part. Okay. If you don't know, if I didn't say it, I don't remember. This is Adobe Illustrator. So I'm just going to head up to File. We're going to click Print. And if you notice here, everything is tiled. Now, I already told it that I wanted to tile it, but to access tiling, you go to Scaling, and then you can do Not Scale, Custom, Fit to Page, Tile Pages, Tile Imageable Areas, right? So we're going to do Tile Full Pages. And it's picking up all of these extra sheets that's going to spit out of the printer because of the width of the sheet, and that's why it's bringing up all of these extra sheets. Now I'm just going to bring that up just a little bit, And then now it's going to go out on 4 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you see there. Now I have an overlap of 1/4 of an inch, and that overlap is what's going to allow me to really layer it so that we can get an exact image or puzzle of this design. Sometimes if your overlap isn't wide enough or long enough, it'll cut off some of your image, and you don't want it to cut off your image. So I like to do 1/4 of an inch. That works great for me. You might want to do a little bit more. Maybe less works for you. I don't know. I don't know what works for you. I found out what works for me by testing it out. So you want to make sure that you test out what you want to do. You need to test it out. All right, so we're going to head over. We're just going to, let me just go to setup. I do want to make sure that I have this flipped. There is a way, somebody did tell me that you can just flip it manually or flip it, have it automatically flipped or mirrored like you do Sawgrass. But I'm just making sure that it's going to flip horizontally, and it is. And I am going, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, guys. Now I'm going to select print. And then right here, I'm going to select print again. Now I could make 2 of these, but we're going to just print that one out for now. We may just make 1 tonight. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Tammy King, the creative armoire. Yeah, so that's how you can do. So a lot of people use the tiling method when you're doing like all over. Technically, this is a true all over print because we're going to be subbing the entire stole. So this is how people make, like when they're doing all over shirts and things like that, this is what they would do. Now, generally, I would use like a board, a hardboard underneath just to make sure that it stays stable, but I'm not really worried about that for today because these are pretty thin. All right, so it's printing out. Now I'm gonna just bring this over. As y'all see, I have a lot on. Like no matter where I am, Adobe Silhouette, I'm going to have a lot of stuff on my artboard. Hopefully you guys don't hear echo. Thank you so much, Miss Gail. Hey, Vera. Hey, Naomi. Hey, Renee. Oh, I'm getting my hiccups. All right, so right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to move this name out of the way because I actually already have it printed out. And so I leave a lot of stuff on the screen so I'll remember exactly how it looks for next year. Let's go with Rainaya. So I'm just going to select all of this. And we're going to bring it over here. And I'm just going to fit it over. Let me bring it to the front. Bring to front. And then we're going to bring it just like this. And so my border is a little bit thicker. What I did, if you were to get this template, I just created another offset around the border just so that when I get ready to press it, there's a nice coverage. If you guys look at this, it just looks, it's to the very end, to the very edge. And that's what I want. I don't want any white spots or anything on it. I want it to look, you know, nicely coated with colors. Yes. Do you need to be concerned about ink seeping through? No, you don't. You don't have to be. The ink won't seep through. The only thing you have to do, of course, you want to make sure that you have butcher paper on your heat press. When you have the butcher paper on your heat press, that will get any extra ink that may be on the edges. And then also when you're pulling it through, depending on how big or how large your heat press is, when you're pulling it through to keep pressing, because we're going to have to press this like 3 times with this heat press. Okay. And when you're pulling it through, you may want to change out your paper underneath. I usually don't change my paper out, to be honest. Like, I don't mind if there's a little bit of ink on the inside because, yeah, no, I don't usually mind. So, yeah. All right. Hey, Leanne, welcome in. No worries, Vera. Hey, Miss Marissa. All right, so this looks good. Her name looks good. I may just bring it up just a little bit. And maybe make it a little bit. And so I have both the offset and the letters selected. And I think I like it like that. All right. So I'm gonna get ready to print this. We're doing the same thing. We're gonna tile it. And then I'm gonna start piecing together the other image. Now y'all see how this is tiled here? I know you can't really see it that good. But you see how it's tiled? You can actually move it up or down so that it can cut off at certain points. So let's say if you're not really comfortable with piecing it together and you want like a clean break right here where there's, you know, empty white space, then all you would do is kind of adjust the image to where one of those break lines of the pages will be in the middle of that white area right there to break it in half for you. Okay, but it should be, this is going to be fine. I'm just going to select print because my print settings will remain the same. Let me grab I'm going to start grabbing some of the paper. And then, so y'all saw all that paper on the, like the extra paper. That paper is going to print out. But it's this paper that you're going to be able to use. I'm going to add you guys over here too. So we did this one. Do I want to go ahead and do another one? I don't know. I'm not really 100% sold on it. I'm going to stop screen sharing this for now. All right, let me see. All right, we're going to add the table. All right, let me see. I have two controls out. All right. I think I may just make this a solo layout. Hopefully you guys could still hear me good. And then I'll be able to see the chat a little bit. All right, so what we need to do now is we're going to begin piecing this together, okay? And this is how we're going to piece it together. I have my tape dispenser, but I'm almost out of tape here. So I did get more tape. I like the thicker tape, like how this is a little bit thicker for these projects, but I couldn't find my other roll of this thick tape, so I pulled out my old Cricut tape. All right, so where's my scissors? Okay, here's my scissors. All right, so we're gonna cut this. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to cut this little edge right here. So you'll see that white piece of paper there. I'm gonna cut that, but I'm going to leave that white part there on that one. So I'm just gonna cut this one. Now, if you prefer to cut this one, then you can, but you need something to tape to piece it together. So I'm gonna cut this. You can use a paper slicer if you have one, but I kind of like cutting with the scissors. Like I find that my cuts usually are a little bit better when I'm cutting with my scissors, but you definitely want to cut right at the edge of the image. You don't want any white bars. All right. So I cut it off. But if you look, I cut it super, super close. You cannot see, there's no white borders of the paper there, and that's what you want. Because if you have any of that white part left on your paper, when you go to place it here, you'll see it. And guess what? When you press it onto your stole, or if you're doing a shirt or anything, guess what will happen? That white part will show. All right, so right now, that's kind of how you do it. You piece it together, just like that. So I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to tape it down. Uh-oh. Let me bring it back up. I'm going to tape it down. I need to line it back up again. So I'm going to bring it just like that. And so with that 1/4 inch of an overlap, it kind of gives you a little bit of safety as far as getting it lined up correctly, right? So I'm just going to put that there. And then we're going to paste the mica, and then we're going to put this here. All right. So I also like to put another piece of heat tape here. Now I didn't mention that this is heat tape. Okay, this is not regular tape, it's heat tape. And you want to use heat tape when you're working with sublimation, especially when you're using temperatures, high temperatures. All right, so then I'm gonna just put this here, and I'd like to just tape this to give it a little more reinforcement on the back. And I also like to kind of just press down hard here, because you don't want to see that line when you're like, once you sub it, once you put it under the heat press. So I'm just going to do that. Hey Kelly, hey Miss Roslyn. Miss Roslyn, are you done? Are you done? Okay. All right, so then I'm going to turn this back over, and now we're piecing it together, and that is flowing. How it should flow. All right, so let's go back over here. All right. So it's still printing out. Okay, so it started printing out the other design too. So that works good for us. So it already started printing out the other one. I'm just gonna put this over here. So both sides are printing out for me. Now this is a pretty large image. Remember, we are using our Brother SP1 sublimation printer, and I'm printing on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. So you can still do, even though you may not have a wide format printer, you can still do projects like this. Okay, so this is going to go right there now. So remember what we did before. I'm going to cut this off, and we're going to tape it on. And I'm getting super close, because I don't want any white space. If you have white space, it will definitely be seen. I've seen like the smallest of lines where you can still see it breaking up. Oh, but I meant to cut that side. I meant to cut that side, but it's okay. Oh no, I didn't. I did the right thing. It's upside. I was like to cut this part. It's upside down. I cut the right side. Never mind. False alarm. False alarm. Don't worry. All right. So now I'm just matching it up here, and let's see. All right. And then you can see, the funny thing about when you're doing this, you can see exactly where it's supposed to go when you start to piece it together. All right. Now they do have like graduation stole templates. I think this one with Honestly Speaking, I think she already had like kind of like it broken up. So I think she has like the border. I don't remember exactly, because I did this like 3 years ago. But she has the border, and then she has like the inside where you can change the colors, I think. The same goes for other sellers on Etsy and things like that. But this was super easy to use. All right, and I'm just cutting. Uh-oh. I see a sliver of white. I do. Sorry, y'all. If you guys said anything to me in the chat, I didn't see it, so I'm just cutting. All right. And now we're gonna put this here. Hey, Miss Linda Gray. Hey, Nani's journey. Sublimation and embroidery. I will never wear a plain solid strip. Naomi, neither will I. I just can't. So you guys see how like that cursive, it lines up. I just got to make sure that I put it the right way. And then I think I want to take a little bit, because when you're piecing it together, you can kind of see if you have any white paper that can be seen where the sublimation ink is, and you don't want that. Remember, that will ruin your all over look. Okay, so that looks better. But if you guys see when I pasted, those letters line up good. Awesome, Vera. All right. But I'm going up too far. Now you can make a larger overlap if you want, and what the overlap does is allow you to like put it on top. You can piece it together better, stuff like that. But I had it lined up just right before, and then I messed it up. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting back there. We're getting back to where it's lined up good. All right, so that looks great. I'm just gonna put that there like that, and then I'm going to. You don't want your tape to go onto your design. All right. So now we have all of this taped up. I'm gonna turn it to the back, and then we're going to tape it. I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of. I'm just using my fingers. If you have a brayer, you can also use your brayer to do this. Aw, Miss Foslin. Well, congratulations, Miss Foslin. All right. All right. So let me put on another piece. And we're going to. Now, if you want, you can tape, like run your tape all the way through that line. If that's what you want to do, like just run it all the way through. If that's what you like, you know, if you want to do that. I'm not going to do that right now. I think that's going to be enough tape for us. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to get ready to, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Just kind of want you guys to see. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get our stole. I'm actually going to go over to the heat press and press it. So you guys could see that. Well, all right, sorry, y'all. So I'm just going to go to the heat press. I'm going to press the stole, because if you notice, like it's not, when you take it out of the packaging, it's not, you know, pressed. And sometimes when you do this, you don't want like these creases inside of the shirt, like inside of the stole. So I'm going to pre-press it. And it's always good to pre-press your stuff anyway, right? So I'm going to pre-press. Oh, just roll it. I always do that. All right, so we're just going to lint roll it up. Y'all know what? It doesn't want to be lint rolled. It appears that it doesn't want to be lint rolled. I think I have some extra pieces of tape. So I'm just going to press the entire sash or stole. I meant to put my, oh, I did not mean to do that. Uh-oh. Now I gotta wait for it to be finished. I didn't mean to do it that long. I meant to press it for 5 seconds. But with this one, you have to let it know that you want it to go for 5 seconds with this heat press. If not, it has to go the entire time until it auto opens. Oh, it's all good. It's gonna be super hot because I have my heat press set at 385 degrees, and we're gonna press it for 45 seconds. 385 for 45 seconds. All right. So now I'm gonna press this part, but I'm gonna change my time to just 5 seconds. All right, we're gonna do it just for 5 seconds. You know what I could do? I could press it the long way, and then that will press it good for us. But see, it only really needed 5 seconds for it to be straight. So I'm gonna take this back. I'm gonna put this on 45 seconds for us for when we get ready to sub it. Okay, so let's head back over here to our table. Right. And peel and stick it over the blank. Yes, Kristen. All right, let's see. All right, so let's head back over here to our table. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is now we're going to take our nicely pressed stole. I'm going to flip it over because it needs to go in that direction. And we're just going to begin that. I made it too long, but it's fine. It's a tad bit too long, but I wanted it to be like nicely coated. I didn't want any empty space. So that's what we got. All right, so I'm going to get ready to start taping. I usually start taping down here at the bottom. And it's up to you. You don't have to make it so wide. I made it a little wide, actually. But it's okay. All right, we're going to just tape it there. And then I'm just going to start taping. Now I'm about to run out of tape. So I'm only taping one part. You guys see that flap is going to go over there. And as you're doing it, you want it to be nice and smooth. But you want to tape it down really, really good. All right. Oh, Naomi, I'm sure that they're going to have you super busy. I couldn't do a custom stole for Taylor, but my students are definitely making sure I do some custom stoles for them and custom grad caps. Once it was like, can you decorate my gown? And I'm like, don't you think your mom wants you to take this gown home so she could see it? He's like, no. Can you decorate it? I'm like, I'm not decorating the outside. Maybe the inside of it I would decorate, but not the outside when it's time to go on the stage. But then this one student, he might probably try to open it up on the stage. You know what? Never mind. So I'm just taping it down. You guys might not need this much tape, but I need this much tape. And I like to have this much tape because I feel like it's secure. And when I get ready to lift it up and take it over to the heat press, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Hey, Maylene. I didn't see you earlier, I don't think. Hey, Miss Viola Floyd. All right. And then I'm going to take this down up here. I told y'all, like, I use a lot of tape. You guys may not use this much tape. You might be like, Patrice, you're overdoing it with the tape, and you might be right. But that's kind of how I do it, right? So let's get ready to head over. And when we get ready to press, we're only going to press this portion. Like this will be over here. Even though I should have pulled it up a little bit, but I needed to have it like that at the bottom. And then here, we're going to press it face down, okay? Anytime you're doing sublimation, you want to make sure your heat press or the top plate of your heat press is making contact with the top of the sublimation paper, all right, or the back side of the sublimation paper. Right, let me head back here. And then I am going to head over to the heat press. We'll remove this one for now. All right, so now we're going to get ready to head over to the heat press. The first thing I need to do is place, actually, I'll do this solo layout too. The first thing that I need to do is butcher paper, right? So I need to have a piece of butcher paper here on the bottom of the press. So I'm just gonna take a little piece, and I'm gonna keep this same butcher paper here on the heat. But I'm also going to change it out every time I finish the new every time I use press a different stole or the other side. So I'm gonna bring the stole over. Remember how I told you guys we're going to do it like this. And I want to make sure that the white part is sticking off of the press, even though this may get some. So I could actually cut that off right there. Because I don't really want it on that side of the stole. I don't want it there. So you want it to be like super, super precise, then I would just cut and cut there so that you don't have it on there. Oh, I cut off too much, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut right there. And I'm gonna leave it just like that. I don't want it on over here. Like, depending on how clean you want it, and if you're selling these, you know you want it to be very clean. Right? So I'm just gonna press it just like this. I might put a little tape there too. And then I'm gonna bring this just like this because I need this part to be over here on the press. Okay. So then I'm gonna get another piece of butcher paper, and we're gonna put that butcher paper on top. Now I'm gonna keep this same piece of butcher paper on top. I'm not changing my butcher paper. In fact, I probably cut too big of a piece of butcher paper, but it's fine, right? So I'm gonna just put this butcher paper on top. We have it already set to 480 to 385, and I'm going to get ready to turn it. All right, so then we're going to bring that heat press down, and it's going to go for 45 seconds. All right, so it doesn't take long. I can start getting the other papers, but we'll do that together. And I probably can turn that heat press down a little bit. I don't think it needs to be at 385. The sublimation paper that I'm using tonight is PYD Life, a sublimation paper. It's 8.5 by 11. And this stole is about 36 to 37 inches long. So that's why we need 4 pieces of paper for it. All right. So now that we have that part done, all I'm going to do is I am going to move this over. And it is hot. No, it is hot. It is hot. It is hot. All right. And I'm just trying to make sure I'm going to get some of that ink on. Now, what I want to show you guys is that you see some of that ink that seeped through. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on here. I'm not really worried about it because it's on the back side of the stole. But you may, if you want to change it out or maybe have a pull through backing, have a long piece of butcher paper and you pull it as you're pulling your stole, you could do that to avoid that happening to you. I'm not really worried about it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and press it again. And so I'm using firm pressure. I like to use like kind of medium to like really firm pressure. Because the parts where you have it taped together, it needs, I think, in my opinion, I think that it needs a lot of pressure in those areas because it's almost like 2 layers of it is 2 layers of sublimation paper in that small space. And so it needs that extra pressure so that it can look even. All right, now we have one more press. There's gonna be 3 presses in on each side. And this is kind of why I like to use my and the tape is keeping it all nice and secure. So this is kind of why I like to use the Fancier Studio, because I usually can get each side done in 2 presses. I don't necessarily need 3 presses to do that. Awesome. 8.5 or 13-inch wide. You can print up to 47. Yes, you can. And that way you just have a continuous print. You don't have to keep cutting and piecing together, and you can get a continuous print. But for those of you who don't have the rolls, then you can totally get it done, because guess what? I don't have any rolls anymore. Like I actually hadn't purchased any sublimation rolls in a while, especially since I've been doing DTF. All right. So this one is done. This side is done. So we're gonna get ready to start piecing together the other one. I'm gonna bring the table back on, and we're going to do a solo layout for the table. All right, so we gotta piece this part together. This might be one of our shortest lives, y'all. We already been on here for an hour. I got a few things that I gotta do tonight. All right, so let's see what it looks like. Thanks, Rosetta. Generally, I like to peep and see if I need to put it back on the heat press. Like I'll usually do like a look underneath. But with this, you're gonna just have to peel it off. And yeah. So I want you guys to see how this looks. So if you notice where we had those 2 layers of paper, you do see like that crease line, but that'll go away. There's no break in the color there. So see, if I bend it, you don't see that break in the color. You see that crease line because remember, like I said, like that's 2 layers pretty much of paper in that area. But you can totally pluck it out, or what I would do is you could go ahead and get when you turn your heat down, you can apply a little more pressure and it'll remove that line right there. But you want to turn your heat press down, and you always want to make sure that you cover your press with or your item with butcher paper. So this is done. Now the only thing I can say is that with the PYD Light, and I don't know if it's the paper or the ink from the Brother Sublimation, I don't even have that much color left when I'm subbing with my Epson. So I don't know, but I'm not really worried because this color looks amazing. It looks fantastic. All right, so I'm just gonna take this off, and then we're gonna start piecing it together. Hey Evie, thank you. Hey Fifi. It came out really nice. All right, let's see. So I'm just removing all of the tape, and then we're going to do the other side. Thank you, Naomi and Greg and Vera. All right. So only use that tape once. Can't use it more than that. But this came out really good. So now we're going to do the other side. And then I actually have this style, or with this design, I have 2 more to do. But I don't know if we're going to do it tonight. But that's what we kind of have. I may do it tonight when we get off, because I got a lot of stuff to do. But came out really good. But again, where it connects, like there, you just press it one more time with heavy pressure. All right, so let's piece together the other part. And this is going to be the other side of the stole. Hi, Judy. Yeah, no, I'm just subbing the 2 front sides. I'm not even subbing the inside. Because the inside, oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me add this to the screen. Let me go back here. So I'm not subbing the inside, just because when it goes on, nobody could really see it. Because it's going to be like that. So I'm just subbing the outer part of it. Now, if you want to, you can sub the back part if you want to. You totally can sub this part if you want to. You can, but they ain't getting that subbed. I'm not doing. No, they're just gonna get the one front part subbed, and that's that. All right, so I gotta piece this together. Let's gotta see. So it's gonna go like this. So the same thing that we did before, we're going to cut. I'm gonna make this black print. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you, Miss Sharon Davenport. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut. I'm cutting that white part off. Okay. You want to make sure you cut all of that white part off because I cannot stress that enough. I always get somebody who says, well, I'm trying to do it like that, but I had like a little line. I don't know where that line came from. That white line came from the paper because you didn't cut it close. So if you want to use a paper slicer to do it, that might work better for you. You find what works good for you. Okay. All right. So I'm just saving this down and it will fit. And I'm about to have to get another tape roll. I have all these tape rolls here. I don't have it. I love thick tape for stuff like this. All right. So we have this tape down. You never did it before, Evie? I do it. Y'all know, like I don't take orders for it, but the school they get me to do it. So every graduation season, I'm gonna have something to do. And then if I want to do it because, like, I know the kids, a lot of them are very, very special to me. So I don't want to take on orders or projects for other people, and then I can't do stuff that they want me to do. But now when I had so many kids come up to me, bringing me their grad caps, and I'm like, y'all are doing the absolute most. All right, so we're just sticking it down, and you want to make sure that it flows. It's just like you're putting together a puzzle. You're putting together a puzzle. All right. And then we're going to turn it over to the back. Look how quick this was, y'all. This is 4 pieces of paper. So 4 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that we needed for this 70-inch stole. Now, if you had 8.5 by 14, that might reduce the size of the sheet. And if you also have a printer that can print 11 by 17, then you'd be good to go as well. Or if you have the sublimation rolls, you could do that also. But we don't have the sublimation rolls, so this is what I'm doing. And I really need to try to work on that printer tonight so I can print out the other graduation stoles with DTF. But right, so I just gotta make sure I'm lining this up. And because we have letters, you want to make sure that you get it just right. Right? So let me get this piece of tape. I should get a bigger piece, but I don't have the wide roll. All right. All right. That looks great. Oh, that's really good. All right, so I'm just gonna put this. I'm gonna put a little piece there. Like I said, that is That is nice. That would be good, like a private message. Evie, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. All right. All right, so I'm going to turn this to the back now that I have it taped, because once you start to slide it through the heat press, you want it to be secure. You don't want it to be kind of flimsy, especially once you put the stole on it. So I'm just going to turn it to the back, and we're going to add sublimation tape to each of the connecting joints. I need to get some more thick tape. All right. So I'm just gonna cut a little piece. And again, this is sublimation tape. I'm pretty sure this is a Cricut brand sublimation tape. I'm gonna put this right here on this corner, or in this connecting part right here. And then you do want to make sure you just press it in. And I press it in just to try to help that paper really connect. Just need a blueprint. Oh. You didn't use it in a while? What happened? Why is it fogged? All right, so I'm gonna get this. All right. All right. And then I'm just pushing it in. And then after this one, I have 2 more to do. But I did originally, I intended on using my my Epson Eagle Tank 15,000. But it's been giving me some issues. Color's not acting right. And I hadn't used it. The last time I used it was fine, but it didn't turn out good. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just stick to my sublimation. Oh, so I see right here. I don't know if you guys see. There's like a little bit of white there. So that means something. I might have shifted something. So I need to lift this part up again, because there should not be any white parts there. That does not work really well for us in this situation. We're just gonna all right. And so I'm looking just to make sure that it's no white on the paper. There may be a little bit of white on the paper right here. So I'm just going to snip it. I'm not going to take the whole thing out, but just a little bit of white right there. Yep. Very, very little. I'm putting too much now. Let me turn it this way so I can see it better. Because that will cause like a little bit in your paper, in your design. It will mess it up a little bit. I don't want it. I thought it was just where it was connecting at, but it wasn't. That looks good. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. And because I snipped it, I made an extra piece of white. Remove this. Oh, don't grip here. I have to print this again. I don't want to print it again. Okay, we'll be okay. Usually my sublimation paper is a little tougher than this. This not seeming all that tough. All right, let me fix it. All right. I really don't want right, that's gonna be good. All right, now I gotta put more tape on the front because I do like, even though there's tape on the back, I still need tape on. All right, okay. I'm just gonna tape that down, and then I'm gonna take this side down. And we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good to go. Take this. All right, and then my back side looks good still. That does. But I'm gonna put a little more tape right here. Hey, Tanya. All right. Hey, Diane. Happy Friday. All right. So we're gonna get ready to add the roll. All right. So now I'm just gonna place it right here, and we're gonna put it like it's gonna go this side now, right? Because we're doing that side. So we're gonna put it like that. And then I always like to kind of start at the bottom just to make sure everything gets covered. And then we're going to start taping. But what I'm doing at the bottom, I'm making sure that this is all within the color areas, the image, the actual design, right? Because you want to make sure that it's as it should be. I gotta use a thick tape for this. All because this material, it moves very easily. So we want to do that. But oh, sorry, y'all, I don't have my other tape dispenser for smaller bowls. I'm just gonna do one today. Wait. And I'm just smoothing it as we go up. Are you guys working on anything tonight? What are y'all doing on this lovely Friday night? On the eve of Angel's birthday. What are you guys doing? I actually do love sublimation, Evie. So I'll say yay. Yay, I love sublimation. I do. I haven't been doing many sub projects, but these kids got me doing them now for them. It never fails. All right. So before we get under the heat press, like I kind of trimmed that other one, we're going to trim this one too. But we'll trim it before we get underneath the heat press. Dempsey's working on an order for a tumbler with permanent vinyl. Nice. You just got one tumbler, Dempsey, bro. And then I'm making sure I smooth it out because with any type of sublimation, you don't really want any air to get underneath. Like, so you want to try to make sure it's nice and smooth on the template. Because you don't want air underneath. All right, and I'm gonna put some more on here. There are some beauties from Evie, nice and scale. Oh, two of them. Trying to make sure I have what I need for my family trip in 2 weeks. Also, Kristen, how long are you guys going on vacation? For how long? Is it for relaxation? I can't wait for my summer trip. All right, so I'm gonna put, I'm still here. Try to pop in, like, love sublimation. Denzel, why you can't take too much permanent vinyl? I'm about to cut Dempsey's Pray Before You Lay. Nice. All right, hey, Miss Shanita. All right, I'm going to add that there, and then I'm going to cut the same way we did the other part, just so that we don't have like a lot of, like, I don't need any ink going on this one. I don't. And so I'm just going to cut. I'm cutting that. I don't want any ink seeping through on this side. So we just need ink where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we're going to get ready to take this over to the heat press. All right, let's see what I'm doing now. I'm going to make this big, and we're going to do the same thing. Thank you, Fancy Boo. This is the, so I'm going to remove this if y'all see the ink that went on here. So the one thing that I haven't really noticed, though, honestly, with the PYD Light, I'm trying to see if that ink comes through. It's possible that it comes through. I can't really tell if it does, but I'm going to fold these in half and use these as well. So I like to save some of my sublimation butcher paper. Is it 9? What time did we start? We haven't even been here for long. All right, so I'm gonna bring this over. And so I am going to place this just like this. And we're going to put, now what I'm gonna do is, because this is still kind of close here, I'm going to just put this here and I'm gonna place my butcher paper on top. Because of course, I don't want any of that ink getting on my heat, right? So, but I also need that corner to press. So I'm gonna put this just like this. This is right here on the press. I'm gonna go over just a tad, but I have it covering. It's covering all of that, so it's not gonna affect it. All right, so I'm just getting ready to press this and make sure that this looks good. It does. All right. It's just all this paper I got under here, but it's gonna be fine. Let's rest. All right. Let's see. Having dark lines from over. Yes. So that's what I think about. Like, if you, so I'm gonna have a little crease in between where each of the papers merge. And so what I'll generally do is turn the heat press down very low. You can have it at like 250, 280, and then do a hard press and with heavy pressure. And then that will smoothen everything out. Kind of like when you have your shirts and you have the press lines around the shirts, because that's what that is, a press line. All right. So with this press, that's why it's super important to make sure it's taped down really good, because if not, what could happen is when that auto press lifts open, you could have shifting, and you don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna go back and press again. and it's medium pressure. I could have the pressure up a little bit more, but thanks, Leslie Cash kids. All right, let's see. So I have about two more to make, but I'm not gonna make those on camera. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and put on some relaxing clothes, and then I'll come back in here and finish those because I have more stoles that I need to design. All right, so we're gonna bring this over, and I'm going to press. Now there's a little bit of overlapping of the press, but it's fine. All right. Even though I think I have some of that on my paper, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Tianda's here. Hey, Tianda. Yes, tape everything. Yes. And we will be done. But this is pretty much the same type of process you would use if you're doing like an all over shirt. The way I printed it out. That looks good. We're gonna head back over to the table. I'm gonna turn this heat press off right now. I'm gonna turn the heat press off, and now we're gonna head over to the table because I still need to print out some more stuff. All right, where's the table at? I don't even know where the table is. Oh, here's the table. All right, so let's head back here. And so remember how I told you guys I was pressing and I really didn't care, like the back part where you might want to care. So let's say if you want to turn this one color, let's say if I wanted the inside to be all maroon, you can sub this all maroon. Like that's a dark enough color to go over this little yellow streak right there. But that's up to you. Okay. All right. So we are going to begin by peeling this off. So we're all done with this one, and I just gotta remove the tape, and it looks pretty good. I like how it came out. It came out pretty good. I don't have many complaints. The one thing I do, I think maybe for next year, like how Eve was suggesting, maybe putting a note on the inside of the stole from like fam, but these are from like the club. So maybe if the club sponsor wanted to say something about each of the students, they can. It's not like these aren't, they're customized with their names on it. So what's, you know, a little more customization, one little thing that can go like on the inside here at the bottom or so. But this is the other side. And it looks good. So let's say, remember how I told you guys like where the parts connect? So I think one part connected right here at this A. But look at that match up right there by that A. The crease is from the press line of having two pieces of sublimation paper connected right there. But all you have to do is press it hard, like do like another hard press ahead of heavy pressure, and it will knock that line out. But it has to be super heavy pressure, and then it'll knock it out for you. But that's, and then where we have our Y, with that Y connected. And then we have our bottom. I think it came out pretty good. I love it. So this is, hold on, let me bring us over. Let me remove. And let me add to stage. And then we'll remove this one too. Thank you. So this is the first part of it, the first side, and then the other side is here. I think it came out pretty good. I like, I mean, I've been using this design for this club for 3 years now, and she never wants to change it. She's just like, oh, I'm gonna give you the list of the girls' names. Just use the same stole. And so this is, I have to change the year, and that's it, because you know, every year it changes, but I just have to change the year. And but that was pretty much an all over stole. Well, not even pretty much. It wasn't all over stole that we did. That's how you would do if you wanted to do an all over shirt. Let me know if y'all want to do an all over shirt. We can do an all over shirt one night. Now, I printed this with a printer that only prints 8.5 inches wide. And we printed, as you guys saw, 8.5 by 11-inch sheets of paper. That's what we used. We didn't use large paper, and we still did a good job. Now, let's say if I was able to use the 15,000 and the 11 by 17 sheets of paper, I might have only had to piece two pieces of paper together, maybe three, depending. But when you have like the rolls, you don't have to worry about putting anything together. Like it will just go the same. Yes, for shirts, Stacey Collins, we can do an Oliver shirt soon. I'll do that. But thanks. We're all done with this. And I don't even think I did. So, Evie, I had taken out a shirt just in case to bling, but I have so much stuff that I gotta finish that I'm like, if I could finish enough stuff, maybe we can bling on Sunday. Maybe I could do a little bit of bling on Sunday, but these kids, they have tons and tons of requests. So that's what we do. Christine, yes, you can totally use the smaller paper. You can totally use like the 8.5 by 11. So I know a lot of people think that the only way that they can do like larger things like that, and it's not often that you're doing all over designs or super long items like this. It's not often. So when you have to do it, you can do it. You know, will it take a little bit more time than if you were to use a wide format printer? Yes. But can it be done? Yes. Will it look good? Yes. So put on some music and you can get it done. Thank you. Thank you, Vera. I love this Be Kind shirt. This design is pretty sparkly. It's not on my website. Somebody's going to ask. So I'm just saying first right now. It's not there yet. But I love it because I still didn't finish the smaller sizes. Love my Be Kind. Looks really cute. I find 1,000 with the 5-pass tray. I'd have less piecing together. Yes, Miss Gail. Yes. Customization. Yes, it can. Evie, you totally can. So even let's say that somebody was super ambitious and turned this part of the design, the H and the S, into a bling file. That's what you could do. You could put that on top of here. Or let's say if you just want it all bling, let's say I have like how I have these black stoles. I could maybe bling this out, do something decorative on it and bling it out, and then put their name and bling going down. I mean, Evie, don't give me any ideas. Like, but these, I think, so these stoles are going to be, this is going to be for, we have a program here in South Florida, and I think it's pretty, not just South Florida anymore, but it did start in South Florida. It's called 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. So these are going to be for the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. And these red ones, or not red, the burgundy ones, these are going to be for the FAA. So that's the Future Athletic Administrator or Association or something like that. So this is going to be for like the athletics department. So I have four of these to make, 3 of those. Then I think I have like 3 more customizations to do for stoles. That's gonna be different. And then I have 2 more of these, but with the 2 other names. I gotta go ahead and do those. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and print those out now, the names, so that I will have those ready for when I come back in here after relaxing. Think, I think. Naomi, I'm so serious. Like, Evie, don't give me any ideas. I don't know when's the last time I finished a crafts and combos by 9 o'clock or 9:15. I don't know when's the last time. And I haven't even been on here for an hour and a half, but I totally need the rest of this night to kind of get my mind together and finish some more stuff. And so I also want to turn on the extra AC in here because this heat press gets super hot. And I don't know if you guys will hear it or not. So I don't really want to keep you guys on for that. I'm gonna have to turn the AC on. So hey, Teresa Sister Art Crafts and Things. Welcome. Stacey, I think I may go on a little early on Sunday. And probably do like something, maybe some bling or so. Don't forget the buy-in started last night. If you are interested in getting any hot fix rhinestones in the buy-in, thebabiesbooty.com, and also you can get rhinestones from the hotfix6.store site. But the buy-in is going on now. I know, Kristen. I know. Yeah, that's it. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments, or complaints before? I mean, I'm shocked, just like you guys are. We did that in an hour and a half, and I am going to take advantage of this tonight. I pulled out the bling shirt. I was like, oh well, because I knew that I didn't want to do all of the stoles on the live. I just want to kind of show you guys how to get it done, like how that would be possible. So you have to tile your prints. If you don't have a wide format printer, you have to tile them. And then you also just have to piece it together. Make sure you don't have any white areas when you're connecting the image, when you're piecing it together. No, you want to make sure you remove all of that white space. And yeah. And I also need to go make sure Taylor's in the bed. I know she's 18 and she's out of school. I don't even know how I have a daughter out of school right now, but she's out of school, but she has some important stuff to do in the morning in preparation of her next adventure. So I just need to go check on her, make sure she's all good. Everything is, make sure she has some gas in her car and stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Sharon Davenport. Delonda was texting me like, get your life together. We need some energy. We need some energy. So I'm not going to stay on here that long. Like, I'm about to get off because my energy is not. I'm fine. Like, I'm more so chill. Like, I don't know if, are you guys like when you get in work mode, like, that's all you can see. That's all you can think about. So even though I came on live tonight, like I'm still like in work mode because I know I have so much stuff to do that I'm just like focused. Like I want to get that done. And then just trying to figure out some other things. And then when I came home today, I had a meeting with the tech from Racoma about my heat press because I don't know if you guys saw, like it would not stay down when I was pressing last night with Marilyn or Tuesday night. It wouldn't stay down when I was pressing. And so I had to meet with them when I came home from work. And so that kind of threw me off a little bit. And yeah, because that was time that I could have been working. So, and then I was going to just work in the other craft room with the fancier studio. But I just ended up staying in here. So yeah. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Please remember to be kind, be kind, be patient, be a patient person, be loving. You never know what other people are going through. And you could change their lives. You could change the trajectory of their lives by just one kind word, one kind gesture, one smile. Sometimes people just need to know that they are seen and that others care about them. So please remember to be kind, be nice. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys learned something tonight. I know I was in a hot mess tonight. Maybe was I a hot mess tonight? I don't like coming on here and not being a hot mess. I know that I wasn't a hot mess like I usually am. I actually had things together for a change. Don't worry, next week I'll be back to normal because graduation is going to be over. But I'm still getting ready for Taylor to go um college. So my family's asking for shirts. Everybody wants to go up with her when she gets ready to move in her dorm and all this other stuff. So when I mean everybody, I mean like a lot of people want to go. And I'm like, why do you all want to go? But I know that's because she is loved and I am. That makes me happy to know that she is loved, not just by me, but she is loved. So I'm not going to argue with them, but I am a little territorial. That is my baby and that is my time. And so I got to get over that. But I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Getting off here before 9:30, y'all. We're adulting over here. We're being mature. We're mature crafters. I'm gonna make me a shirt that says that mature crafter. We did everything like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got it done. I love y'all. And until next time, y'all, which will probably be on Sunday. Don't forget, tomorrow night we're not doing a So Good weekend live, but we might have something special planned for you guys. All right, later, y'all.